Hey guys, and welcome back to the Big Build. Now, much like last episode, today we're going to be filling in the gaps between Milton and Winsdean Junction. Right, we're going to start a little, well, start quite close to Milton. We're going to build a tunnel, so we've removed some track. I've prepared everything. Now, these are the actual tunnels themselves. We put 4 in, because there's 4 tracks. Now we're going to need to split them up a bit. But we want to keep the track, well, the speed of the trains as fast as possible, so we don't really want any bends here. So as close as possible, but also, well, we need the gap for the tunnel entrance, really. There we go. You can see the dark track we've replaced with, and then we've got the tunnel walls above it, so you can see inwards, but once you're in there you only see the tunnel wall. Now we're going to put the track a little bit closer together here. There we go, it looks fine. We'll put something aside just to make sure. See, there's enough space there. Nice, then we might as well just fill it in. We'll change the heights later on, but for now, this will be good enough. Right, so now we use the dig hole, and that allows you to see through the ground and basically into the tunnel. Now it's time to put the tunnel entrances in. Now you can see why we needed to make it fairly wide now, because the tunnel entrances are quite wide. Down we go. Just really want to make them match up. The tunnel entrance has a little bit of tunnel inside it. You can probably see it, just a little bit. So you want to move this, the actual tunnel itself up to it, rather than it to that. Now a bit more smooth in here. We want to put some wings on the side of the tunnels. Now I do mess up the heights of this. We're going to have to put it back down again by doing that. Now we have to hide the fact we've got this massive hole here. So we use this land, you know, these textures. A bit of grass for the side, and then we use these ones here. Sort of, they kind of match what we're going to be doing. What with the track texture. Now I'm only going to show you one side. So I won't do the other side because it's pointless. It's exactly the same as this. But you get the idea. So what we've got to do is match it up, and then we're going to lower that down like into a triangle. Now we'll put one in between there. Doesn't have to be perfect. See, it's even now it's starting to come along. Down it goes. A bit more texture. Luckily we've got some grass of similar colour as what we're using. Up and down there. And on this side is exactly the same. So give it an exact height. Which is slowly it blends in. A couple above here like this as well. It's never going to be perfect. We're not really looking from there really though. So for where we're going to be looking from, it's going to be, you know, it look fine. But we'll get it as good as possible. If possible, we don't really want track gaps, so we try not to. a separate one because this entrance here is slightly different, slightly in front. You push it down a little bit, and I think that works fine. Once you've got trees and some bushes around there, you will never notice. This is the other side, done it, as I said I would. Now we're going to get, now originally I was going to do exactly the same, but then I found these and I thought, this will be better. So it allows us to have a little more gradual. Not quite that long, no. Initially I think we're going to have this massive wall, but it doesn't end up being quite that long. See, once again, I think it looks fine. I think it's going to work. Now, for now, though, this is all we're going to do, because later on we'll come back and put more extra scenery on. We're going to work, after this, we're going to go further down to a brand new junction. Just going to make that easier. Right, so we're at the junction. Now this will be I was going to say road bridge, that's not quite correct. The road will be underneath. And the junction would just be afterwards. At the moment, actually, they're a little too wide. But I don't know that right now. But I figured that out as soon as I put something underneath it. Later on you'll see I put a bus underneath it, and I sort of grasped that it's maybe a little too wide for a tiny little road, little track road, which we're going to be using it for. A bit too deep, I think, perhaps. So what I do, I find a double-decker bus. Doesn't matter which one, era or anything, just because they're going all the same. Just want it to just about get underneath. As you can see, it's a little wide, so I've adjusted it. There you go. Now I found these ends, sort of these wings. It says full bank, bridge kit embankment. There you go. That's what it's called. I know there are other bits for this. I downloaded other bits for this as well. But for now, this is good enough for what we want. Perfect for what we want, actually. At this point, I'm still not entirely sure what I'm doing. In fact, I'd done a quick test. I was just going to put 2 tracks down here originally, but then what I was doing, I just suddenly put 4 tracks here. I don't know why. And this is our junction. Now this track here goes off to the left. It won't really do much. Maybe there'll be a portal there one day. Who knows? It goes off to the side of the board. It's really for the junction. What I wanted, really, as you can see, is the track goes right quite a bit. The track's quite straight up to this point. And I want you to have to slow down. And I think it's just a little boring with the way it was, so... There we go, right up to there. Just a little bit, and I cut a lot of this out. You don't really need to see it. You've seen me build track before. There you go. So you set the height, and then you just get the height of the land to the same as the track height, and that's it. It's done. There you go. A bit of paint down it. Now this is where our new station is going to be. It's going to be called Neath Castle. Why castle? Because later on, well, at this point I didn't know it was going to be called a castle. I didn't even know what its name was going to be. I have no idea why I called it Neath either. N-E-F-E. I've spelled it, just made up a name. Neath Castle, because there's going to be a castle behind it. There's going to be a hill with a castle later on. Now what I decided was that these 2 platforms were put in at different times. So we use different textures for our platforms here. So this one's sort of flagstones, and the other one's more sort of tarmac-y. Got this train just to make sure it fits. And now originally, as you can see, I was going to put the same in either side, but I thought it was a bit boring. So I go looking for other different things. I've got other ones prepared here, you can see what I've brought. I think we end up going with this one. Actually, I think I changed it for a slightly wider one, but it's essentially the same thing. Then I start thinking, how about if we put another track into the left of there? That's a sort of centre platform. Now, we're going to do that in a moment. Now, something else a bit special about this, apart from being different lengths, which every other station has the platforms the same length, is that it's actually on a corner, this. Now, I didn't realise not one of my stations are actually on a corner. So I purposely put this one on. I feel that's a bit wide, really, but there you go. Well, here's the track I said. Now, I had no idea I was going to connect this either. What we're looking for now is just a bit more rusty track. It's still the Pro track, but something which doesn't look as used. In fact, it'll probably never be used. It's here for looks, really. And I'm trying to figure out how to get it to connect. Okay, so that's the way out, possibly. I do get this, but yeah, let's see, it's already looking better. We only have us, because it's so tight, you can only have small engines going down there. So I connect up this end, but it's not right. The way it connects over to that far end track now, there's no way into it. So yeah. So we could put another one in over here. So you can see what I'm looking for the mouse. I'm just thinking, yeah, it's quite complicated. I don't overly like it like this, but in the end, I think it looks quite good. It'll never be used. But certainly for the look as you're passing through here. Now off camera I go a stage further as well, because we put a siding in here in a second. There we go, there. I end up adding this in as its own little track as well. Again, that goes off the board, doesn't go anywhere. Maybe I'll do a portal, so we have something triggered to go into, so a little train goes in as we go past. Now, as you can see, because of the hill, we need to put some sort of wall in here. Oh, these retaining walls, brick, VR, these are horrible. You can see they're glitching so much. Now, when I reloaded this to carry on the build another day, this is called one day build, huh? Another day, these were completely out of kink again. They were much longer than I'd actually placed them. But, well, they seem to be fine now. I like those steps. They're actually canal steps. Originally on the build originally back in the main city. Yeah, we used those on the old canal. We'll use them again when we actually redo the canal further up. Actually, that will be the next build, probably, the canal area. But that'll be a couple of weeks away, so there'll be a gap between this one and the next episode. So it's going to take me a while to build that. Now watch the track as I smooth this out. As I smooth the road out, the track goes into, well, the ground goes down. It's not good. So I can't smooth it in the end, I'll just have to raise it. So that's Milton there, that's the motorway for Milton. And the other side was Winsdean Junction. So it's quite a bit of scenery to do in this one episode, but it's still not really that far. Now a lot of the hills I won't show you I'm doing in this episode, but it's exactly the same as I did in the last one. So we're going to stick onto this sort of building around here. But at the end, I'll do the show and tell at the end. And a future episode, we're going to drive the thing, so we'll drive along and it'll look nice. I've already put the cameras in as well, the side cameras now. Right, what we're really doing, we don't really put many gardens to the back. It's because that's all visible from the... So those white houses got those gardens to the front. They are really back gardens, but they're visible from the track, and that's what we're looking for. So there's not... We put something around the back, but nothing that detailed. And here's our castle. I found lots of bits. I thought it'd be nice to have a castle. Originally I thought it'd just be one piece. Then someone's made walls and a gate, and it's like, okay, you can see all the different pieces there. So I think it needs to be on a hill, so that's the first thing I do. Now I go off into doing more hills to the side here, but again I won't bother showing you that. Just the initial bit here. Lower this down. This is actually now lower. It's one thing I hadn't done on the other parts of the route. It's actually, well, tell a lie, did on the Branchline and the initial part of it. You put the hill lower than the track in certain places, so the track looks like it's up on a hill, but really it's the same level. So we use that trick a few times actually on here. You'll see it on the end. Now I'm trying to line this up with the station, or near to the station, so when we get a camera zooming, when the train passes it, we get a straight on view of this entrance. You'll see what I mean? It kind of works. I could have positioned it a little further to the left, I think. This takes a while to do. Need some turrets and things and around the corners. This reminds me of an old wooden castle I had. It was meant to be French, actually, that castle. It was when I was very small. I might have having a loft somewhere, actually. The one I had was grey, but it just reminds me that you just put these pieces together. You could put it together technically however you wanted. It doesn't look too bad, does it? You're never going to get that close to it, really. Although, who knows, with a plane, if we have the plane over the top, we might. Now this is going to be the outer walls. We lower this down a bit. We're putting them together in different places, but we're going to make it look it's busted. So we only put a few together in places, and then we put some hedging in between. I figure these thinner turrets here would be good. Lower those ones down as well. I think we're quite lucky with this castle because we've got the main piece of it, and we're using that as like the keep in the middle there. We've got the wall round, the main wall, and then we've got this sort of outer wall. And I found this again just by accident as I was looking further on. You see, you don't need anything particularly great, these hedges, but because it's still quite far up, and we can put some other stuff with it. And it just starts to come together quite easily. See? It's just something simple as that. So then what we have to do is lots and lots and lots of hedges. Again, I'll show you a few of them, but majority of them I don't bother showing you. Last episode was full of me making fields, and you've seen that before, so... Right, that's going to be the entrance area to it. I think I changed this hedge, actually, but the area stays. I'd most certainly change this hedge. So it's gravel. And we'll put a few cars and things in there. Later on, I don't do this on camera, I put some people on there. I think you'll see those on the reveal at the end. I could probably have made this into about 4 episodes, really. I've cut a lot of stuff out, but I come to think that it's probably going to become very repetitive, this build, if I just keep showing you the same stuff again and again. Yeah, we need to paint all this, really. Now, I was going to say Welsh castle originally, because it's got the Welsh flags on it. We put some English flags there as well. Got a few cars of people. Now, I think this way's better because it's not. Otherwise, you're going to the front of the car. It's on a slope, so the front of the car is going to be in the air, so that way you don't notice it as much this way round. Put a bus there, so there's been a tourist, there's some tourists gone to see it. Or maybe the bus just stops there anyway. Bit of turf FX there. And obviously some splines of grass will sort of help give it a bit of texture as well. Now, I tried those really cheapo cows, you know, they're flat, but I think the better ones in the foreground's a better idea. I even try again, but no. There you go, it's the English flags I said. I tried to find some moving ones, but unfortunately I couldn't. If I did, that's a lie actually, I did find one, but they moved in such a weird way. The whole stick moved. Now this is actually the other side, along the road we just made. Now it won't look like this in the end because luckily that castle I'd saved. I did this, spent another hour or so doing extra, more stuff, and then suddenly the game crashes. Yes. We were trained and we didn't have a crash. So I had to redo it. It's close enough, you'll get the idea. It's not massively different to this. Apart from this, the fence there goes all the way back to the end. The whole, I don't separate it like that, I just, you'll see. But there's not massive difference. I'm not sure these houses here on the other side, I think they're all on this side actually. Now, we're going back up to Milton. I figured this road connects up to the castle road. I figured it would be nice to have a road with traffic on it running parallel to the track and going over the tunnel as well. So I didn't put it there. Right, this is right at the end. So this is actually Milton now. Take the road back in. There you go. We put some big hedges on the back side and some small hedges on the front, so you can see through to the road. It's on a hill as well, so you should be able to see it. There's the track. So that is actually where the opening shot of the reveal for Milton, just there. Now I've got to lower it down because it will want to go into the air otherwise. Now we're going straight over the top. We'll put some trees and a few bushes there, and I think it looks fine in the end. As you can see, it's because the portals are there. Technically that's underground there. Now I have to do a lot of these fields. Once again, I'm not going to really show you them. If you want to see me building fields, go watch the last episode. It's the other side from Milton to Newtown. I find it amazing that we've actually got this far. It's 3/5 of the map. No, 2/5 of the maps are still done. 3/5 of the map still to go. Of the whole map. Actually quite significant, really. It's taken a long time to do this, though. It's because I've done it detailed. If I didn't bother putting all the details into the cities and things, it would have been done a long time ago. So you can see it's quite close, this road. I purposely put it this close, but we can have some few paddocks in between. What it does, though, it gives some movement when you're on the train looking to the right. Now we're going to use the same technique with the canal on the next episode, or next set of episodes. We're going to have a canal running right very, very close to it, and probably going underneath it as well. But it just gives movement. You can see where it connects to. This is the other end. This is near the castle now. That's that road there. This is the pretend main line. That's not the real main line. That's what was veered off to the left. You can see the other track. I've already put it in now. Didn't bother putting it up. There we go. Now we're going to put some grass in, more splines of grass either side. We use a little bit of turf effects as well, but you can't put it close to the track, it just goes straight over the track. Yeah, we've talked about this before. You can see already it's coming along. I don't really show you the other side, but we do this all the way down to Winsdean Green. Winsdean Junction. Aha. Get it right. Winsdean Junction, yes. There we go, some turf effects. Don't really go too far up with the turf effects. It looks like these horrible little dots in the distance. Even when the track's straight, it's just difficult to decide whether to do it or not. Right, this is the electric pylons or postal pylons that we put in the last episode, which goes all the way through Milton. So we're actually going to put these all the way down to the other end now. Because we actually have some running from the main city already. That's actually why I started putting them in from the other end. Yeah, from this end. I'm thinking, how do I get it across? So we do that. It works. Need to give it a height this time, move back across a bit, and that works. And we can just go further down. As you can see, I haven't put this on camera, but I've done the scenery all the way down here as well. This is Winsdean Junction. This is quite a few episodes ago now we made this. So we're quite close to the city now, the main city. Just a matter of getting the heights right, because we're raising it off the ground to go over there. Now, annoyingly, because we're connected up to the other ones at the moment, because they're coming from the other direction, they won't actually connect together. So we have to hide that. So I tried, but it's giving me the error. I was thinking, what am I going to do? Well, we're just going to put them together like this. We're going to be zooming by. Now, we're back to near the tunnel along this stretch again. I decided to put in this little cottage. On the other side, they're going to have this very nice sort of entrance area. Maybe they're very rich and they live here. They're going to have a nice E-type jag and a little too high, that wall though. I just noticed that it says you got things on top of that wall to stop you climbing over the top. Metal bits. I didn't notice that before. Gotta get the right trees. They're not the right trees. No, not that. So a bit more cultivated. Nope. Nope. Yeah, maybe these. I could see them planting those. Yes, and that's it. Some Italian cypresses. Cypresses? Yeah, whatever. Yeah. You get the point. These things. Now, there's not much space on this these little fields. We're going to think of them as paddocks. So these little fields here are owned by that house, and these are their horses. Pity they don't move, but there you go. They make noise though, I can tell you that. Lots of cows. You can see right into the distance there. I've put all the hills and stuff in. This took a long time to do. Now back into our little town, Neath. No, the word Neath, I don't think it's a town called Neath, but it just reminds me of somewhere like in Wales or somewhere. And that castle has got a Welsh flag. It's probably what did it, made me think. So a few more details around this station. We need some lights, don't we? I'm quite surprised. I've not locked anything down and nothing's moving, so I've got rather lucky. As a centre platform, we need to put these ones in. That's it. And of course, actually, their feet are still in the platform, which is rather annoying, really. The one thing I did think, we need access to over there, really. It's not like a main access for people to get here, but some sort of access. So I put this little track in. Just making sure that I hadn't lowered the track or the land underneath the track at all. We're not going to see this that much, so I don't put too much effort into this. What we'll do is cut the wall down. No, we cut the wall down. That's it. Come on. Move that out of the way. Move the wall back. That's it. Yes. So we just need a fence. Yeah, a bit of fence. I think I put a couple of trees in here afterwards as well. You pull that fence back so I hadn't placed it properly anyway. Another fence there. There we go. Nice and easy. So we're in now. What I'm looking for, I was looking for a Range Rover, but they don't have one. It's a Land Rover they've got. So one of the last jobs we've got to do is put the signals in. The cameras I do off screen. I used the wrong signals here, didn't I? So I have to set them back out again. Silly me. They even look different to the ones I've been using. Can't just suddenly use different ones. They're different ones, but I can't see any difference in them. Yeah, so even though we're not actually going to use this line, we need to still put some in. And here we certainly need something. That overhead bit there, we'll get rid of that, we don't need it. So obviously we're just outside Milton, have a look in. There's our tunnels from above, and this is just the other side. There's our house with the E-type and the kids playing. The castle in the distance there. A bit further up. I think it looks nice. I think it's fine. I'm quite surprised I managed to get this done in a week. There we go, Neath Castle. Got all the signs up. You can see the undulations everywhere. It's just hilly in places, and I've gone off into the background. You can see it's quite far away. It's a bit janky here, but I thought we use the one of the cameras to nice sped it up a bit. So that's Milton. We'll go all the way down to Winsdean Junction. Up we go a bit. There we go, the castle one on the left, coming down. You can see the hill going, the bus going down the hill there. Now by this point you can see the speed signs in it also. By this point I've actually changed the signals over to the ones I should be using. So I've been using both ends. And to the right there, those are the houses. They're the replaced ones. Slightly different to how I showed you, but it can't be helped, the game crashed. I quite like this area with the hill going down on the left. Now very close, on the left, on the right, sorry, is actually Winsdean Junction. You can see the bridge right in front of us, but the station's to the right. Now let's look at the map of where we are. So Winsdean Junction's on our left, that's where we just were. Milton's on our right, and Neath Castle's right in the centre there. You can see the blue lines of the different tracks. Now this is the full map. So if we looked at the bottom left, it's this main city there. Top left is Perran Sands, now that's the Branchline, the end of the Branchline. Bottom right is Newtown. And, well, we've just gone between, we've basically just in the bit between the city and Newtown. And if you look at the map size, that's pretty much the same sort of area as it is from the city to Perran Sands. That's why I've actually put this map on here. And that does mean around 2/5 of the whole map's now done. So I'm quite happy. The next bit of the build is further across to the right in the corner on the right. And, well, that's going to be factories and things, and it's going to be cargo and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be a big build, but it's going to be a few weeks away. But that's, anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please press the like button. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And press that ding-dong bell button. It even tells you when I put more stuff on. See you next time. Cheers and bye-bye.